Swiss model was murdered in her home. The killer was her husband. But here's the gory part. After killing her, he chopped up her body parts, pureed some of them in a blender, and dissolved them in a chemical solution. Just the thought of it would make anyone shudder. Yet this is not an isolated incident. Every 11 minutes, a woman or a girl is killed by someone in her family. Every 11 minutes.
In the quiet village of Binningen, Switzerland, a gruesome discovery shattered the peaceful lives of its residents. On February 13, 2017, police uncovered the remains of Kristina Joksimovic, a former beauty queen and beloved mentor, inside her family home. The prime suspect, her husband Thomas, the father of their two young daughters. What followed was a case that would captivate a nation and raise chilling questions about what went on behind closed doors. Authorities were stunned. Kristina's body had been hidden for weeks, and Thomas, once seen as a devoted father and husband, had spun a series of inconsistent stories. His initial claim that he found Kristina unresponsive quickly unraveled as investigators delved into the evidence. As whispers of domestic violence began to surface, the horrifying truth of what had happened to the former beauty queen started to emerge. Kristina Joksimovic wasn't just a national icon. She was a mother, mentor, and a woman admired by many. Behind the success of her beauty career and her business, however, she endured a life far removed from the public eye. The violence and control she faced at home remained hidden until it was too late. Now, her life, cut tragically short, becomes a haunting example of how the signs of domestic abuse can be missed. Kristina Joksimovic was no ordinary woman. Born and raised in Switzerland, she was ambitious, driven, and known for her beauty and charm. In 2003, Kristina won the prestigious Miss Northwest Switzerland pageant, launching her into the national spotlight. By 2008, she became a finalist in the Miss Switzerland competition, solidifying her reputation as a national icon in the beauty and fashion world. Her success extended beyond the runway. Kristina's passion for helping others led her to start her own business, Catwalk Coach. Through this venture, she mentored aspiring young models, teaching them how to walk, pose, and carry themselves confidently. Many young women looked up to her as a role model, not just for her beauty, but for her kindness and dedication to sharing her expertise. In 2017, Kristina married a man known only as Thomas in media reports, and they appeared to have a perfect life. They lived in Binningen, a quiet municipality in northwest Switzerland, near the borders of France and Germany. The couple had two beautiful daughters together, and from the outside, their life seemed idyllic. Successful careers, a loving family, and a peaceful home. But behind the scenes, not everything was as perfect as it seemed. Reports would later reveal that Thomas may have been hiding dark tendencies that would ultimately lead to a heartbreaking tragedy. On February 13th, Swiss authorities made a discovery that would haunt the nation. Inside the family home in Binningen, police found the remains of Kristina Joksimovic. The details were shocking. Kristina had passed away, and the investigation quickly became a high-profile case. The condition in which she was found suggested something terrible had occurred, leading investigators to focus on the possibility of foul play. The brutality and complexity of the situation suggested that whoever was involved had gone to extreme lengths to conceal what had happened. The day after Kristina's body was discovered, her husband, Thomas, was arrested. From the outset, he admitted to being involved, but his version of events was inconsistent. In his initial statement to the police, Thomas claimed he found Kristina unresponsive in their home in January, and out of fear, decided not to contact authorities. Instead, he claimed he attempted to handle the situation on his own. This explanation quickly unraveled. Medical examiners and investigators determined that the timeline Thomas provided did not match the condition of Kristina's remains. Additionally, his story lacked any real justification for why he had not sought help immediately. By March, just a month after his arrest, Thomas revised his account of what had happened. He admitted to causing Christina's death, but claimed it had been in self-defense. According to him, an argument between the two had escalated, and Christina had allegedly come at him in a fit of anger, leading to the tragic outcome. However, this new story raised more questions. Testimonies from those who knew the couple revealed that Thomas had a history of aggression toward Christina. Friends, neighbors, and acquaintances shared details about several incidents in which Thomas had been physically and emotionally abusive. There had been signs for years that Christina might have been in an unhealthy and potentially dangerous relationship. As the investigation continued, more information about the couple's relationship came to light. Behind the image of a happy family, Christina had reportedly endured years of controlling behavior and emotional manipulation. Several witnesses described instances where Thomas was seen being verbally or physically aggressive toward her. In one particularly troubling account, neighbors recalled hearing loud arguments from the couple's home, with one witness claiming to have seen an altercation through a window. Despite these signs, no official action had been taken, leaving Christina in a situation that, tragically, ended in the worst possible way. As the case moved forward, Thomas's defense began to focus on his mental state. His legal team argued that he had been suffering from emotional distress and was not fully in control of his actions at the time of the incident. They implied that he had acted in a moment of panic. The details surrounding Christina's death, however, made this defense difficult to believe. Investigators pointed out that certain actions taken after her passing required careful planning and calculation. These were not the actions of someone who acted on impulse or in a state of panic. Prosecutors countered Thomas's claims by presenting evidence that suggested his actions were deliberate. His attempts to cover up what had happened and his initial false statements to police were seen as signs that he was fully aware of his actions. This undermined his claims of being out of control at the time. As the trial unfolded, the public in Switzerland and beyond was captivated by the case. The shocking details, combined with the tragic loss of Christina, drew significant media attention. Many people expressed outrage, particularly because there had been signs of trouble in the relationship that had gone unaddressed. It raised questions about how society handles cases of domestic tension and what more could have been done to protect Christina. Her death became a symbol of the unseen struggles that many people face behind closed doors and the importance of recognizing the signs of emotional manipulation or control in relationships. Christina's tragic passing left a void in the lives of her family, friends, and those she mentored. As her case became known worldwide, her story also sparked conversations about the dangers of unhealthy relationships and the importance of offering support to those who might be experiencing emotional manipulation or control. Her memory lives on, not just as a former beauty queen and successful mentor, but as a reminder of the importance of addressing domestic issues before they escalate. Christina's story serves as a tragic but powerful lesson about the need for stronger support systems, both in Switzerland and worldwide, to protect individuals from the kinds of dangers that too often remain hidden until it is too late. As the legal proceedings against Thomas continue, the world waits for justice to be served for Christina Joksimovic, a woman whose life was full of potential, but cut short far too soon. As the legal proceedings continued, the hope for justice in Christina Joksimovic's case became a national concern. People wanted answers, not just about the tragic loss of her life, but about the systemic failures that may have allowed such a tragedy to occur. How could a vibrant, accomplished woman like Christina end up in such a dark and dangerous situation, seemingly without anyone stepping in to help? The trial would ultimately hinge on the evidence that prosecutors presented, showing that Thomas's actions were far more deliberate than he claimed. The inconsistent stories, the evidence of physical harm, and the witness testimonies all painted a picture of a man who had exerted control over his wife in life, and now sought to do the same in death by trying to manipulate the narrative around what had happened. Forensic evidence revealed that Christina had likely passed away well before Thomas initially claimed. Furthermore, his actions following her death, attempting to hide what had occurred, were not those of a man overwhelmed by grief or guilt, but someone trying to avoid responsibility. As the truth came to light, it became harder for anyone to believe his claims of self-defense or emotional distress. In the end, the court found Thomas guilty of causing Christina Joksimovich's death. His defense, which relied on claims of self-defense and mental instability, did not hold up against the overwhelming evidence presented by prosecutors. He was sentenced to a significant prison term, a small comfort to those who had loved Christina, but an important step toward justice. The sentence brought some closure to the case, but for Christina's family and friends, the pain of losing her would never fully heal. Her children, too young to fully comprehend the loss of their mother at the time, would grow up with the knowledge of what had happened, a burden that they would carry throughout their lives. In the aftermath of the trial, many people came together to honor Christina's memory. Her friends, family, and those who had been touched by her kindness and mentorship organized memorials and events in her name. The fashion and beauty communities, where she had once been a shining star, paid tribute to her by raising awareness of the dangers of domestic conflict and the importance of seeking help. Christina's story inspired numerous initiatives to address the issues of emotional manipulation and control in relationships. Organizations dedicated to supporting individuals in potentially dangerous relationships gained increased visibility, and many people began speaking more openly about their own experiences. The media attention surrounding Christina's case helped spark changes in how authorities handle reports of domestic tension, ensuring that warning signs are not ignored or overlooked. Her legacy, in many ways, became a catalyst for greater awareness and action, helping others to escape similar situations before it's too late. Christina Joksimovich was more than just a former beauty queen. She was a loving mother, a dedicated mentor, and a bright, talented woman who had so much more to give to the world. Her tragic and senseless death serves as a painful reminder that no one is immune to the dangers of unhealthy relationships, and that vigilance and support from those around us can make all the difference. Though Christina's life was cut short, her story continues to resonate with people around the world. By remembering her and learning from the circumstances surrounding her death, we can hope to create a future where tragedies like hers are far less common, and where everyone has access to the help and support they need. Christina's legacy lives on in the countless lives she touched, both in her lifetime and in the wake of her untimely passing. She will always be remembered not just for her beauty, but for her strength, her compassion, and the enduring impact she has left on the world. Don't forget to subscribe for more true crime stories and hit the bell notification so you never miss an update. Your support helps keep these important stories alive.